Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. My name is Will, I'm an ecologist by training, and this is Grounded 2 Early Access, and well, we've been having a lot of fun in this game so far. And well, our home has been growing a bit. I decided, you know what, Antilda over here needs a nice place to live, so she has a lovely little shed over here, a little home away from home, to call her own, and of course it is also decorated with some lovely signs on the outside here, and the ant nest is also right over here. Now today's episode is going to be all about scorpions, so let's actually head on out in that direction right over there, because we are going to go hunt some northern scorpions, and probably quite a few of them. Some of them will be orc controlled and some of them will not be. Let's start with the ones that are most likely hiding right over here. There usually are two scorpions over here, so two baby scorpions. Let's just have a look. They should be buried around here somewhere. Not that I can see them at the moment, so maybe they're not here at the moment. Which, you know, is fine. That is perfectly fine with me, because we are already going to probably encounter a scorpion down here. Now this is perhaps a bit of a spoiler one, so if you want to skip this little bit over here, you can go to the timestamp right over there. We're just going to munch right on in, and then somewhere, I believe in here, there we go indeed, there is an Orc Scorpion Junior right over there. And it's called a Junior, but that could either be a Junior Scorpion there, or it could in fact be a male, because the male scorpions are much smaller than the females. So let's actually try to block all the attacks, especially that stinger over there. I've got the mosquito needle, and it is surprisingly good at taking down the orc scorpions. Oh, it's going to do that attack, okay. Miss. And voila, it is dead. I must say, the mosquito needle has been amazing as a weapon. Oh, I don't know. Buggy apparently is almost dead. What on earth is she attacking? Antilda, what are you busy with? Well, it seems... Oh, it was probably the scorpions. Yeah, it was scorpions. And the cockroaches cleaned it up. Well now, so it does seem as though the cockroaches are in fact attracted to carrion, which makes sense. I mean, they are scavengers.
A splendid creature.
I'm just going to pat Antilda over here just so she feels valued. Right, now we are gathering some of these quartzite shards and also the marble shards we had here. But there is also a recipe over here that we can use to make some lovely claws. So the northern shredders. Aha, alright. Now, unless I'm very much mistaken... Ooh, there we go, there is an orb weaver as well. I do want to take that one out. I absolutely love the mosquito rapier. It was one of my favorite weapons in the first Grounded, and it is jolly well living up to its reputation here now as well. Right, now there is a lab nearby. We are going to go to that lab in a bit. I believe it's right up there. For now though, let's quickly head down into this cave here, because unless I'm very much mistaken, there may actually be some more scorpions over here. But as mentioned, that Scorpion Junior could actually be a male, because the males of the northern scorpion are significantly smaller than the females. There we go, there is a little scorpion over here. Yeah, I was just about to say, there's very rarely just one. It's usually two little scorpions over here. Now these little scorpions that we fought here most likely are from the mother that we encountered previously as well. So still part of that brood. And you know, that does make sense. They can have a number of babies. I'll have it down there exactly how many they can have at a time. So quite a lot of babies per female. The interesting thing is that unlike almost all arachnids, as far as we know, universally give birth to live young. There we go. There is an orc larva right over there. And there's an orc red ant soldier as well. May as well, you know, shoot it in the eyes and one shot, one kill. But this is also a lovely place to build your base. And my wife Nick and I and a friend of ours, we've been building a base right over here. It's lovely. It is right here by this lab, which also has got water down below. So you can get infinite water, no problem. Additionally, now they have opened up this scabby scanner over here, for teleportation to another lab. You of course have to first go to that lab to open it up, to then explore a bit, but it is here. It is ready to be used, which is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Alright, and now that we've inserted that orbital disc, we can finally get the smithing station. That is going to be wonderful. Let's grab the spike strip as well, and you know what? The acorn turrets. We have to get those as well, and may as well go for the Bratwurst as well. And then we can also grab some pine needles. So this is now a resource we weren't able to grab previously because we didn't have our tier 2 axe. But now we do have this. And I love the fact that you can actually see the short little twig that you often find with the pine trees, and then the needles coming off it. These needles being a way for the tree to reduce water loss. So it's an adaptation for drought conditions. Thin needles will lose less water or lose water more slowly than big broad leaves would, so it's a drought survival strategy. Now, as I was saying, regarding other arachnids, they are generally what we call oviparous, meaning they lay eggs, so the babies hatch from eggs. But scorpions, as far as we know, all the species there are either viviparous, meaning they give birth to live young, or they are ovoviparous, meaning that the babies do develop in eggs, but the eggs hatch while they are within the mother, and they therefore are born as baby scorpions rather than eggs being laid. And I think that is absolutely amazing. Now I think, yeah, there is a big scorpion right there. You know what? I think we should give it a go. Why not? May as well get a nice little ambush shot in on it, and then, oh, there we go, there are babies coming our way. Great stuff. Now we hopefully will be able to kill the babies before the adult comes close. One baby is dead, and the second one is also dead. Great stuff. And then I think we can get a nice little ambush shot on that one again. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it seems to be stuck. Now this is a very big one. It could in fact be a female. And let's just... oh, we did not protect against that earlier. There is a lot of venom coursing through our veins. Let's just drink something. And there we go. There we perfect blocked that attack. And let's just continue. There we go. We finally got him. There we go. Or got her, most likely. Stunned. And now we just have to let our buggy take it. And the scorpion is in fact dead. It is our first big scorpion we have actually killed. So yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. Giving us the scorpion chunk, scorpion pincer, and venom there. We didn't get the stinger, however. I was after the stinger, but we'll hopefully get that at some point. Now there's a reason we came through here, and that is we need to get to the hedge at the top here. And I think we can run along up there and get to the lingonberries that are up there. And now we are heading into the hedge. So this is like Grounded 1, we had the blueberry hedge. Well, now we've got lingonberry hedge. So this is a new type of plant that we are encountering here. We're just going to grab some of the lingonberries over here. Now the lingonberries we are harvesting here are actually very closely related to blueberries, both belonging to the Vaccinium genus. So the resemblance here is not accidental. I mean, they really are very, very closely related. But interestingly enough, we've got a hedge here of lingonberries, but in reality, lingonberries wouldn't form a hedge like this. Instead, they've got a much more scrambling nature. They, very much to me at least, resemble cranberries. Also in the Vaccinium genus, so very close related as well. And all of them are in the Ericaceae family, which we in South Africa are very familiar with. We've got lots of plants in the actual Erica genus here in South Africa. We do not, however, have Vaccinium in South Africa. So we don't have cranberries, we don't have blueberries, we don't have lingonberries here in South Africa. But these plants are cultivated in some parts in the US, also in the Netherlands they are cultivated, and a great little berry to make jam with and all kinds of preserves with, or just to eat fresh. And it seems to be particularly popular in the Scandinavian countries and also in the Baltic states. It seems to be quite popular as a berry. And it occurs generally throughout the northern hemisphere in boreal forest or in the colder regions. That's where you find them. They are very, very hardy, can survive temperatures of up to, well, down to minus 40 degrees Celsius. So minus 56 degrees Fahrenheit, I think it is. Not sure what the degrees Fahrenheit would actually be. I did just take out a ladybug there. It was a little bit dark, but yeah, that was it. And again, no head. All the ladybugs in this park seem to be without heads. Because I think I've killed like 11 or 12 ladybugs now, and I have had one head. That was it. But as I was saying, these lingonberries, surprisingly cold resistant, and very odd for a broad-leaved plant. They don't drop their leaves in winter, instead they hold their leaves. But they do most likely grow in areas that are slightly more protected against the severe frost or snow, or cold overall. And there we go, sleeping larvae. Oh, no match for me. I think there is a spider, indeed, hiding behind the lingonberry. Sneaky, sneaky. Now, while we are here, we are just gathering as much as we can of the lingonberry, so we do not have to travel all the way back here. But you know what? I think that is good enough. Let's actually head on home. Now, home is that way. Interesting, the Cecropia moth caterpillar almost seems to be glowing in the moonlight. They're not bioluminescent, so this isn't bioluminescence. I think it's just the way the light was refracting around it, or moving through some of those spine knobs. I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, and now homeward bound again. And here we go. Sleep well, Antilda. I'll be back in the morning. Now, this does give us the opportunity to just quickly analyze some of the more important stuff. The pine needles, for example. The scorpion pincer, and of course the lingonberry chunks. And now that we are home, we can put some lingonberries right here on the jerky racks. And now, time for bed, because, well, we have got a simple bed over here, which, after sleeping in it, gives us the lovely comfy hunger and comfy thirst buffs. So that prevents us from getting hungry too quickly or thirsty too quickly, which is really useful for a day of adventuring. And now that we've got lingonberry leather, we may as well analyze that. Not that it gave us anything in particular. I mean, we can already craft this fuzzy hat over here, which requires lingonberry leather, and this is going to be very useful when we go to the picnic table. And that will actually be very, very soon. We're just going to first take out a ladybug again. Hello, ladybug. It's showdown. No, no such nonsense. Now, the bright red coloration of a ladybug is aposematic coloration, indicating that they are in fact very, very dangerous. But not in the way that they're going to attack you dangerous. No, instead they are poisonous and very, very distasteful. There we go. Still, again, just ladybug parts. No ladybug head there. Nonetheless, we do have one ladybug head, and we are going to use that along with 3 lingonberry leather, which we also now have to upgrade our Omni Armor. This of course means that we will be able to smash the candies when we do encounter them, which will be wonderful. So the spicy chachas along with the cool mints, we'll be able to smash those and utilize the candies. And there we go, there is another big one there, right. Perfect, exactly what I wanted. I was hoping this one would be back, because, well, I need that fang right there. The reason I need the fang is so that I can actually repair my weaver daggers, which are looking a little bit worse for wear. Although, of course, now we are able to build the smithing station. So I should be able to just upgrade them, and that should then also repair them completely, which is a wonderful way to spare some resources sometimes. Unless I'm very much mistaken, there should be some scorpions in this area. I did say today we are going to be hunting some scorpions, and well, there are most likely going to be some scorpions right over here somewhere. I think I hear one. Yeah, there we go. There is a junior. A junior slash male, and there is a baby over here as well as Scorpling. Hello, Scorpling. I really, absolutely love the mosquito needle against the scorpions. It's so effective. There's a baby as well. Let's just get rid of the baby. And the stinger. Oh no, that's a big one, I think. No, it's not a big one. I thought there was a big one as well. Okay, so there we go. No, you're not going to steal that. You're not going to steal that. No, you naughty, naughty cockroach.
Shh, it's all right.
almost stole that scorpion's loot. Oh, no. Still need a stinger though, still have not gotten a stinger. Now we've had the junior and we've had the 2 scorplings. I know there can be, and I have seen it here somewhere, a big scorpion. A big northern scorpion. Paruroctonus boreas. Paruroctonus roughly translating to similar to one with a tail for killing. So that is a lovely name. They're not that deadly. Of course, if we are the size of Pete over here, they would be deadly. They are very, very good at killing invertebrates that they generally feed on. We're just going to take out this bombardier beetle again, because it is between where we are and where we want to be. Anyway, as I was saying, Paruroctonus. So they are fascinating scorpions though, and I would love to still see one up here, so I can actually talk about it while we see it. So let's just have a look. In the game we can see the northern scorpion kind of being buried, but in real life they don't really bury themselves. Instead, what they do is they very often lie on top of the soil surface. So that they do. But they don't generally bury themselves. They will hide under rocks and they will hide in little cracks in the soil, but not completely buried underground. Unless I'm mistaken, I have encountered scorpions in this general area as well. There we go, indeed, there they are. Another game here, there are indeed burrowing scorpions. In real life, they wouldn't be burrowing underground. But there we go, there is a scorpion right over there. Haha. Now these scorpions that we have here are likely still young ones. I haven't seen an adult around here. And I mentioned previously that scorpions, the young ones, will actually feed on the mother, which isn't exactly true. In scorpions, however, the babies are carried on the mother's back. But they don't actually feed on the mother directly. Though in some species, the mother will secrete a liquid. There we go. Hello there. I was waiting for you. The mother will secrete... Oh, there we go. Big one. And let's just resist all that and attack it. Right. So this is me. And you may wonder how I got into this predicament. Well, while we are fighting, it's difficult to talk about these things. So let's quickly chat about the scorpions while we actually see them like this. Typical scorpions, big pincers, medium-sized tail here. This is not a highly venomous scorpion. It's deadly enough to actually take out the invertebrate prey, including other scorpions and including members of their own species. However, they won't kill a human, except if you are the size of Pete over here. Now the scorpions here, they do have these 2 median eyes right over there, and then they have more eyes generally along the side here. Not as big as they are shown here, although the bigger eyes here do make them a little bit more intimidating, more scary than they would be if they just had these small little eyes on the side here. They do also have their chelicerae over here, their mouth parts. Now what is interesting is that in the game here, the scorplings, the young ones, don't use their stinger. I haven't seen them use the stinger, they only nip at you with their pedipalps over there. Whereas the juniors over here and the big adult scorpions, they will use their stinger as well. Which is exactly the inverse of what you find in the real world. Because when they are young, there is an almost 100% chance that if they encounter prey or they are attacked, they will use their stinger. And that just gives them, especially when they're capturing prey, that gives them a greater chance of subduing the prey by injecting venom from their stinger over there. And as they get larger, the amount they actually use their stinger decreases over time until it's only about 1 in every 3 stings that they will inject venom into their prey. And that's because they've got bigger, stronger pedipalps. They don't need to use venom to subdue most of their prey. They will still use it against things like crickets and grasshoppers, more mobile and more difficult to kill prey. But against things like termites that they'll also feed on, they're not going to inject that with venom. They can just hold it in their pedipalps until it eventually dies. But when they do encounter other scorpions, including other northern scorpions like these guys are, then they basically just go, okay, well, fine, I'll sting you. It's almost guaranteed that they will sting one another. And what is interesting, to me at least, with these scorpions is usually you find them one at a time. They are more solitary. They don't occur in dense clusters, and they are quite territorial, it seems. And if one scorpion encounters another one, unless they're trying to mate, and even that is a very delicate situation, when they do encounter one another, they will usually fight. And it's very often a fight to the death. And what then happens is the one that wins cannibalizes the other one. Will then basically eat the losing scorpion. So yeah, it's quite a dangerous affair being a scorpion. But these scorpions, absolutely amazing. I love them. Northern scorpions, the most northerly occurring scorpions in the world. And that is reflected in their species name as well. And that just means to the north, to the northern one. Anyway, I thought that was cool. Let me just now get back into the fight as I am fighting for my life here. Oh, and that there was death by the scorpion bumping against my shield. And still no stinger. I mean, this one obviously had a stinger, but not for us to loot. Although I do think the stinger you generally get with the big ones, not with these medium-sized ones. But you know what, that was fun. That was a very, very fun fight. And now I think it's time for us to head home. But before we do, let's just quickly go take out this ladybug over here as well. I'm still looking for another ladybug head. The daggers are just absolutely amazing. There we go, finally got a head. Now, there's a reason why we had to take on that ladybug there. There we go, time to head home. I think this is also where I will be calling it today, everybody. So thank you very much for joining me on our little adventure here. Hope you had fun. I had a wonderful, wonderful time with hunting the scorpions and going to the lingonberry hedge and doing all those lovely things. I'll be back again on Tuesday and we'll be carrying on with our adventure then. And probably then be heading up to the picnic table, which will be a nice little adventure as well, because that includes going in through some frozen areas. So until next time, everybody, stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Cheers!